gym pandas, and they were educating me from Andrew Thomas Young's paper. They're saying, yeah, those light rays, they're curving to your eyeball, right?
Yeah, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, they are?
Line of sight is never bent.
You haven't got a straight line of sight on a globe. It's all bent.
Those light rays, they're curving to your eyeball.
Yeah, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Line of sight is never bent.
They're curving to your eyeball.
Yeah, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Line of sight is never bent.
Cornwall cars. We have
Numpty dipshit.
all cars, please assist. All cars, please assist.
So why don't you walk me through this?
What you want me do this? Huh? What you get me do this, prove a flat earth? Huh? What you get me do this? Huh?
Done.
What you get me do this, proving a flat earth? Huh? Huh? What you get me do this, proving a flat earth? Huh?
That is how you sound, Virus. That is
What you get me do this, proving a flat earth?
Damn, walk me through this.
Damn, bro! You got me proving a flat earth, bro! What you get me do this, bro?
Dude.
And we're back. How's it going out there, guys? Got a great one lined up for you today, as far as you know. If you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. I think we got some folks in Discord. Let's see who we got. I bet the beautiful Betty Van Velsen, Liz, is in Discord. Let's check.
Yes, I'm here.
Aha! I knew it.
Aha. You are correct. Although Liz,
Yeah, Lizzie.
yeah, not many people call me that.
See, Elizabeth has so many different avenues to go. Let's see. You got Elizabeth, you got Liz, you got Lizzie, you got Betty.
Yeah,
What else?
Lisbeth.
I already said that.
You got Beb.
Beth.
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 Yeah, but Beb. But in Holland they say Beb.
Bep, like with a P?
Yeah.
Bep? That's a pretty good one.
Yes.
So you got Bep, you got Beth, you got
And Beb.
Just wait a second. So you got Bep, Beth with TH, Betty,
Yeah.
Liz, Lizzie, and Elizabeth.
Yeah. How about Elisa? Or Eliza?
No.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
like-
it's
Yeah, it's in the name. Come on.
I think that's the only name that you can treat like a jungle gym.
Well, somebody says Bethany too.
Bethany. Yeah, I guess it's related to Beth. We're stretching it a little bit.
Yeah, Macbeth.
Yeah, Macbeth. We can
Close
go.
to the fly.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I realized that I was watching a show, can't remember what it was, and they kept calling it, and this girl was smoking, boy, kept calling her Liz, and I said, wait a second, that's short for Elizabeth.
True. Yep.
So we're gonna roll with Liz or Lizzie or Thin Lizzie. You ever heard Thin Lizzie before?
No.
Huh? We got to get Brian in here.
Yeah, where is he at? Because I've not seen him
I
for a
think
while.
he's on vacation. I think he took. Maybe he's working in potato fields.
I think Adam is here, but he has some problems, I suppose.
He's always had problems.
Don't laugh at that.
I wasn't laughing.
Well, you make fun of him.
I do not.
Yeah, you did.
Yep, we got so Thin Lizzy is the subject. I think I got a Thin Lizzy thumbnail that pops up every now and again. I think it's off the album Jailbreak. Brian knew the lead singer. His family knew the lead singer personally. Cool guy, man. And they were from, guess where they were from?
Probably Boney Beach. What?
What does Boney Beach? I said, guess where Thin Lizzy was from?
Pennsylvania.
If Brian knows the lead singer, or knew the lead singer, I think he's passed away. Guess where they're from?
Scotland. What?
Unbelievable. Good.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at guessing games.
Guessing games. Brian, he's from Ireland. He's Irish.
Close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. Jeez.
Oh, come on. Many Americans don't even know when Holland is on the map, so why would I?
Here we go. A complete and utter thrown out the right field red herring fallacy.
Well, that's what I'm good at. I'm the queen of fallacies.
Because the boys are back in town. That's a Thin Lizzy song, by the way.
So Adam doesn't get any sound.
Really?
So why? Yeah. So and I saw him jump in and jump out. Maybe some settings or something.
Adam, radio check.
I see. He's there, but he's not there.
Want to contact him in Skype?
Yeah, he's in BALLBUSTERS live stream here on Discord.
Well, you can type in Skype. That way you can communicate with him, but I don't know if he can type in BALLBUSTERS live stream, though.
Yes, he can. Because he did.
Oh, there he is. Sorry. Yep. Can't get any sound. What is up?
That could be the region. It could be a temporary thing. It could be push to talk.
Well, he was blocked out on last show. Towards the end of the show because he messaged me. He said his mic went kaput.
Oh, okay. Well, that's for you. That means no banana eating.
I'm looking at that darn banana right now too. And I'm hungry right now. So Adam, get in here.
Yeah.
There he is. Come off mute.
Yeah, he is. He's there, but he can't talk. Which is strange for an Adam, right?
Yeah, he was on Nathan's show earlier and he was okay. Sorry about this technical difficulty, folks, but we got to get this worked out. Adam is an integral part of this show.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe the region? Maybe how? Yeah, I don't know.
No, that wouldn't have been a region thing. He's got mic issues. He's typing for you now, so sorry about that, Adam. Let's see what's going on out here. Hold on, let me run some stuff.
Maybe I can get my friends, my moderator, Righteous Force, to help him out.
But it works on other channels? Isn't that strange?
Huh?
He said he says his mic works on other channels.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Because then we can move to maybe one of the other channels.
You want to try it?
Yeah. If you can move to the live stream of Nathan's live stream.
Nathan's live stream, you think that might work?
Yeah. Well, if he says that he can go to others, yes.
He said he can go to other channels. That is 24/7.
Oh. That's servers, Adam, not channels.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. Get your nomenclature right. I'll leave it up to you, Betty. If you want to move us over there and just try it, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think that it will help then if he says that. So, well, maybe you should do the show and I'm and Adam and go to another channel and see what we can work out.
You gonna leave me?
Yeah.
I ain't got any content.
Then we already knew. I'll talk about your pretty bow.
Oh yeah, we are gonna. You know what? That is a subject gonna come up, ladies and gentlemen. I was gonna do spectrochocoloscopy today, but I decided against it. I just wasn't feeling it. It seems that people are not talking about this subject. Here's what I need you to do. Over the next week, I need you to bring up how do we know what the sun is made of over and over again to ballers. Okay? I need you to do that. So next Tuesday, we'll hit spectrochocoloscopy, but I need some material.
For what?
I need to get people talking about it. You have to get the bald-tards discussing how they know that what the sun is made of or stars are made of by spectrochocoloscopy. I'd like to tape some of their answers and, you know, like have their numpty canvas so I can paint my Rembrandt. Follow?
I missed you a little bit.
Because you can't do two things at once.
No, the thing is that I'm trying to do the region.
Can you hear me?
Yeah!
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, I can hear you.
I changed the region. Maybe that did something.
It must
I
have,
just wanted
because...
to say I can't join in tonight, so I've got to go.
Oh, don't bubble your
No,
eye.
I'm only messing.
What? What did he say?
He said he just came in to say that he can't join in tonight.
Oh, come on, no.
He's being facetious.
Unbelievable. Well, then I'm changing the region back.
She's changing it back. Good God.
All that trouble for nothing.
Yeah. Whatever you did, that region change helped him out. How's it going, Adam?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good to be here. What did you? I don't know what it was. Just couldn't hear a thing from you guys. So
Really?
just from you. Yeah, weird. But thank you, Betty, for sorting it.
Well, it was sort of a long shot because sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. So good that it did. Ooh, we got a couple of super chats.
You got a
by
couple
the way.
super chats. You want to get to those?
Yes, I will. So the first one was even before the show started. Lumpy gas in a vacuum. He says, I am muted on 24/7 Discord, and but her Sonny did it. So nice information. Cost him $5. I would say lumpy gas in a vacuum. Be more butthurt in the future, and you will be okay.
You can always complain here.
Exactly. And we got one from Unitox Fame who says, we know how sun is made, just use pseudoscience. I don't know. How is the sun made? By hands? Physical hands? Papier, how do you say that? Paper mache? Do you guys know that?
We know how sun is made. Just use pseudoscience.
Yeah. And then you can make some stuff up.
Well, yep. That's why I want these guys to ask around just randomly, like in the middle of a conversation. If you're with a bald-tard, just ask them, do we know what the sun is made of, and how do we know that? So I need to hear that for a week, and get the responses from bald-tards, and I'll tape some of them, and then I'll run them here, and then we'll just, we'll just fricassee them. It'll be fun.
Will there be some batter involved?
There'll be some
Louisiana batter.
Oh, Louisiana batter. Good thing you brought that. Let me go track that down. I think I got pictures of that. Where did I put that?
Well, we got another super chat right after. You can explain again.
So did you not?
What is written in books?
Sorry.
Go on.
No, I didn't, Adam.
Yeah, you know. he pressed it. I forgot to send the recipe for the beer batter. Hey, so I got a
Oh, you did, huh?
in the week. Yeah.
Well, he's got 4 years worth of crappies in the fridge, so that's good.
4 years worth. Well, I did follow up with Adam, like he was saying. He promised that recipe for the crappie, and I got back with him like the next day or 2 days later, something like that. I said, "Where's that recipe?"
Yeah, recipe.
I didn't say recipe.
Very remiss.
Yeah, the first time you did.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I'll record it.
Yep, you are recorded.
So let me go find it. Where I just seen that.
So what's happening in flat Earth world? Or
Don't be interrupting.
or the semi-world globe world?
Don't be interrupting.
I'm just trying to get this topic going.
Where the heck did that go? I just seen. 1 second. I just seen the crappie I cooked. Remember I had the picture of it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with it.
Why don't you snatch it from Skype?
Oh boy. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I wonder if I could copy. Hold on a second. Let me just bring.
Whilst you're hunting,
Oh, jeez.
the recipe I sent you, that's 2 Michelin stars. That.
Huh. How did you get that?
Well, because I knew what I thought. I'll go and find him a good one rather than just, I had to make a basic one. So I went and found. There's a guy called Tom Kerridge who's basically he's got 2 Michelin stars, but he does like pub food, but it's done to perfection. And the thing about this beer batter one, Betty, you take 2 egg whites as well, and whisk them up till they're dead fluffy, and then just fold them into the batter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to because I've never tried it, so I'm looking. That's why I'm looking forward to John.
So you haven't tried it
coffee in.
yourself, but you are selling it to QE?
Well, no, out of guilt because I was so remiss at not sending him, just the standard beer batter recipe. I thought I'd put a bit of research in, and I came. It said Tom Kerridge's, and I thought, well, this will be bloody good because his food's lovely.
But are they giving away recipes of 2 stars and just like that?
Yeah.
Is there some missing ingredient?
There might be.
Yeah, it must be.
Adam was pretending.
Brown pygmy.
Oh, hold on a second. Adam was pretending clowning. He was bluffing because he goes, I got a recipe for you, but at that specific moment in time, he didn't have one.
If you look at it, the top half, I don't have a recipe book. No, I know how to make things.
I didn't say you didn't have a recipe book. I said you had a recipe, a fish fry recipe, but at that moment you actually didn't. You had to go look one up post claim.
Well, he thought that his wife would have it.
Well, that would be valid, but you'd have to demonstrate that I wouldn't have been capable of providing with a beer batter recipe.
You just admitted it.
Which I had in my head. But
look at these. What in the world?
Then I came across that, and I thought I'll give him something good. But now I'm getting grief. I'm getting grief for going out of my way. I'm not going to bother anymore, Betty.
Yeah, he's not. He's ungrateful. Ungraceful and ungrateful.
Ungraceful and ungrateful.
Yeah.
I just can smell a hole in an argument from a.
Yes, I can. So I got the picture up of the beer. This is on my anniversary. We had fried crappie, and we used that Louisiana fish fry recipe, and this is what it looked like. This was my plate, and it was really good. Now, I have 8 more bags of crappie, so I'm going to try 8 different recipes. So this one was the Louisiana fry. It was real lemony. So you couldn't use lemon with it because it just overpower it. But the next one, I got the idea off some guy cooking walleye. And what he did was he used salt and vinegar chips. He crushed up salt and vinegar chips and then used a egg wash and then slapped them in those chips and then fried them up. So that's the next one. In case you were wondering.
Nobody did.
Fair enough.
All right.
We need pictures and scores as this is going to progress then.
Yeah. And I will
Oh,
provide
do
it
it
to you.
retrospectively. You got to give a score, put it away.
It's going to be a good score. I'm telling you.
See, that'd be nice with a garlic mayonnaise if it's dead lemony.
And then, but your recipe, the one you gave me, is on the list also. So we're also going to do that. Just want everyone to know out there, I know they were concerned. So, yeah, that's what we do. We make people hungry here. What else are we going to do? We already destroyed the friggin' fairy tale globe. What do you want me, what do you want me to do here? Go over it again?
Somebody says, Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum says, there's no hope for a Glober to win a debate with a QE wolf pup with an IQ over 110.
It's well over. It's well over that with my wolf pups. They're well over 180.
110, so 110, right?
No,
Go even higher?
my wolf pups have IQs over 180, each of them.
Not divided?
No, not added up. I said each. EACH, Liz.
How many wolf pups do you got?
10.
All right, I thought 12 maybe.
I'd hate to do an IQ test now because I'm dividing by 50 now nearly, which is never a good thing.
Okay, well,
Adam, did you hear that I wasn't doing the Spectro Chocoloscopy today?
Yeah, I think that was my request, wasn't it? And I think it's probably pertinent. It died off after they thought it was something that could attack David Weiss off, but it'd be interesting for it to come back because yeah. So what is the sun made of? Yeah, I heard that bit because I was YouTubing as well. So.
Yeah, we
Good
have
question.
to get
I could try and use it. Yeah.
We have to get it doing it again. It seemed, like you said, it died off a little bit. I took my good old sweet time. That was probably one reason why. And I didn't intentionally delay it. That's just how it went because we wanted to do gravity first because somebody mentioned gravity. Betty, Liz. So we did that one first, and by that time, the trail went cold.
well,
I think you're being generous. Right back.
Go ahead, Betty.
You can spice it up again. I mean, every time that you talk about things, then it sort of puts more fire on the wood on the fire. Right?
You'd say I pissed my own self off.
No, the thing is that when you are sort of tackling a topic, then afterwards people talk about it again.
Yeah, a little bit. I would still I want everyone to hear, not everyone because obviously everyone's not in Discord and they're not playing around in there, but I'm gonna stoke the fire a little bit myself every time I go in. I'm just gonna say, so what's the sun made of? And that will always get back. It's going to spectrochocoloscopy, right? That's why I said everyone out there, just randomly challenge ballers with that for the rest of the week, and by next Tuesday we should be squared up.
But how can you record stuff if you don't have anything to record yourself?
Well, I don't. If I hear the arguments, I can just repeat them over again. People trust me.
Yeah, but where you are not around lately, as of late.
Here we go.
Yeah, so where are you?
Right here.
Yeah, I mean, you used to be in 24/7 and all the other places, and then you could sort of get your people on the task and also record at the same time, right?
I could still do that.
So you need to be in 24/7 if you put people to the task. You need to be there.
Yeah, it's like a fire and forget thing too.
I don't think he does. I think maybe not with the same veracity, but you can hear that the argument repeated from what he's constructed. It's there. It's being used well, whether that's 24/7 here or other places.
Even so, Adam, it doesn't matter if we'll do it next Tuesday. It'll be spectrochocoloscopy, whether you guys stoke the fires or not.
Something needs to happen because, like, flat Earth debate today. Yeah, we got on to the show, and it's like there's no ballers. We're waiting for a baller to come in. We ended up talking about He-Man and stuff. You know what I mean? You heard it. And...
Really?
Yeah, they did until I arrived.
Well, but that was it. That's the same thing that you played at the start. You rocked up with that just to try and provoke something. The reason I brought up He-Man was it had a bit of mud flood in it, so I thought somebody might at least bite on that. But there was nothing. But that's the trouble. You see, what we're left with. It's a bit boring, if I'm being honest. At the moment, there's no challenges. There's nothing to get yourself engrossed in. You haven't got to go away and do any silly little Blackpool Swan calculations or out. I mean, even Rufy, your good friend, Glenn, even his retorts have just. Let me just grab one because
they're getting dumber. Really... Not only him, all the ballers as a whole together, their arguments are getting dumber. If you've noticed.
My point was their arguments no longer seem to have anything to do with the nature of the Earth. They seem to be whether or not Brian can define this or Brian can define that, and
really
whether this is a fallacy. Whether somebody's made a semantic slip up somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're superfluous. They're juvenile. They're not. They're abject retards. Right?
Look at this ball proving quote. How funny is it that Rachie triple the zeros there, lots of zeros, understands Coriolis and you guys don't? Is it a fallacy to ask if the Earth is a globe? Then I should see X ? Y. This is what we're left with now. I mean, it used to be fun, but there is literally nothing left other than
platitude.
I don't know what are they bringing to the table anymore, other than what you played at the start. Yeah, which is probably the greatest exemplifier of it. You know, denying basic understandings of what we see.
With virus. On the brain, yeah, that was really stupid. He just doesn't. I'm not getting it. He has to be actually retarded. They just double speaks. Does he think? I'm trying to figure this out. Does he think when you look at something that a line like fires out of your eye? Is that what he thinks?
I listened this afternoon because I knew Nathan had got hold of him, so I thought, right, I'll take the dog a walk and just have a listen. And I don't know. He'll defend a point up until it contradicts what he was just saying, and then he'll move back to that point, redefine it, and keep going until it again contradicts his previous point. But to go from lines being bent straight bent, and just a constant flip flap. That's all there is, John. You see?
Yep.
There's no argument for us to address. It's just a point out.
I think he forgets that you need light to see shit.
What's up, Chocolate? Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for bringing it back home, because that's exactly right. That was the whole Chocolate. I knew Chocolate got a hold of it real quick when I said it, because he said light rays are curving to your eyeball, right? The light rays are curving to your eyeball, and then the next breath says the line of sight is never bent. That's
never bent.
That's just the basic contradiction.
He's been saying that for weeks, for maybe months now at this point.
Yeah.
And every time, like, we never really crunched down on it. But it's like, bro, do you understand that you need light to see? How do you say that light is always bent, but your line of sight is always straight? Like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
That's
Anyway,
what we're
what's up,
left
guys?
with. You're right, Chocolate. They kept on getting off the beaten path. I tried to keep on bringing it back to the actual, even though it's connected, the horizon and all that stuff that's connected. I wanted to beat on the light thing and seeing.
It was. I say I was
Yeah,
walking.
yeah,
the dog.
because
Sorry. Go on, Charles.
no, I was just gonna say it's this flippant point that he keeps making that just contradicts everything that he's saying. Like it's out of control, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like changing his pants and not leaving them.
It's gotten worse, man.
There was a disconnect between light traveling and that, and what appears to be, whether it's a disconnect or a lack of understanding, but how his eyes work, and as if this light traveling had nothing to do with what renders in his eyes, and therefore its behavior could be disconnected in some way to what he's going to see.
Right.
You know, I mean, let's call it what it really is, right? It's the level of doublespeak that they have to achieve in order to defend the globe. In order to defend the globe, you have to actually have two different conflicting arguments simultaneously.
Yep.
There's no way around it.
Yep.
So that's what the flip-flop back and forth is. He needs light to be straight because of the sextant argument, but it's always refracted because 2.5 years of telling us light's always refracted. So that's the problem. They've snatched their own wigs off lovely now at this point.
I heard another good one earlier. They're still on the stars rotate in different directions.
Checking my calendar. No, it doesn't seem to be 2015.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting there. You gotta be kidding me. Are you still arguing this when we debunked that? A second grader can debunk that. We debunked it back in 2015. And then they get into, then they Elmer Fudd face plant right into counterclockwise and clockwise as directions. And I was sitting there, well, wait a second. Do you turn on the weather forecast and the weatherman says the winds are out of the counterclockwise? You friggin' bozos.
Maybe they should start.
I don't understand it. I mean, it can be reconciled by incoherent second graders. The sun, moon, and the stars, they all travel in the same direction. Except, say, for Polaris. Say again?
Well, it's nice to see with the star trails, right? It's so beautiful, right?
Yes.
But they can't understand that.
Yeah, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. That's what all the stars, sun and moon, save Polaris, east to west, no matter where you are. So how in the world can you make a statement that the stars are rotating in different directions? This is tantamount to, if you follow that logic, right? It's tantamount to you walking down to the equator, which doesn't exist, but let's just, play along with their game. We go down to the equator. We straddle the equator. We got the left foot in the southern and the right foot up in the northern, and we look straight up. What they're saying is that on the right, the stars are rotating towards them, and to the left, the stars are rotating away from them. That's what they're exactly saying. If they're rotating in different directions, that's what has to be happening. Or they're going perpendicular.
Let me try to explain what they see. I mean,
okay.
If you extend your arms like sideways, right, and you make little circles towards the front, right?
Right.
When you look at one arm, like maybe the left, right, you see it making a counterclockwise movement. And if you look to your other arm making these circles, you see it being clockwise.
That's correct.
That's how you see it. And then they say there are two different poles, and that can't be on a flat Earth. You need to be having, it needs to be like turning around. The Earth should be moving. Right? They say that.
Can I have a go?
Yeah.
What these guys need is like 2 sets of tickets for the Daytona 500. They need some in the grandstand, and they need some on the inside in the pit lane. And they need to look at it and watch the cars keep going round from the grandstand and see the cars moving, I don't know which way, left to right. And then come on onto the inside and look up again and see them moving right to left, even though the cars are going in the same circle. This is
same concept.
The premise, that is used, this counter rotation.
Mine is better, Adam, because you know why? Because you're the center, right? And you're looking at your arms moving. And it's just a perspective from which side you're looking at it.
Mine's better because I'll get free tickets for some blind card to get me to prove
Mine is better.
Okay. I can see.
I would just say at this stage, if you don't understand that the direction that they appear to be moving in changes because of your perspective, then you literally think the stars are moving in different directions at the same time.
Yep.
That makes you a crazy person.
Nice. Chocolate, how you just summarized that. Beautiful.
Yep. I can do an even better one, an even shocking one.
Oh, what?
I just want to know whether Chocolate's rated better than mine and Betty's and where it ranked. Was it number 1 or number 2?
I think combined ours.
I can give it better. I can hold on, Adam. Mine's the best one.
Oh, good gracious! Well, it's his show, so let him win, guys, because we're never gonna win.
Let him win, because we'll never hear the end of it. That's some freaking That's some nonsense you just made up.
Well, and it's true too.
It is not true. Just because you said it's true doesn't mean it is.
I said so, so therefore.
All right, listen. So this is a better one. This isn't even though I have an analogy that's better than all yours, I'm not going to give an analogy. I'm going to give a conclusion from their argument of different directions. What they're saying is, in the north, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but in the south, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
Yeah, east is just like a convention, right?
No.
So mine is better.
No, you didn't. That is that's the best one.
You made you stumble, for crying out loud.
The stupidity of it made me stumble. I couldn't believe I heard it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm not going to rank whose was better there.
Mine wasn't an analogy. Mine wasn't an analogy, so it can't be ranked. It was a different category. It was a conclusion.
I was just going to recognise that you never claimed this was a democracy here. So you can claim what you want, can't you? But
well,
I think there's guys that want to say hello. For sure.
There is
I have one. Hey everyone. Hey, come on, mate.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. There's Brian. So, Brian, we got to
Brian.
get back. We got to get back to another subject. I was talking about that we were talking about Thin Lizzy, and I said that you and your family knew the lead singer, right?
Yeah, him and my father were friends. They lived together at one point many years ago. And his mother used to send. She died some years ago, but she used to send. When the book was being written about him, about Phil Lynott.
Phil, yep.
My father sent his mother information about his friendship with him, with Phil Lynott, and every year then after that, for a long time, every year she would send us a Christmas card. We still have the cards here somewhere.
Yeah. See, Betty?
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Well, Brian, thanks for showing up, because that was a question that was like up in the air.
yeah, him and my father were friends. The last time my father met him was back in, it was somewhere in the 80s. I think it was early 80s or something. I'm not sure if it was in JFK Airport or Heathrow Airport by accident, something like that. He ran into him.
The good old 80s, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have my years now. My years may not be 100% correct, but I think it was early 80s.
Yeah.
Best years, the 80s.
No way.
Huh?
No.
What then?
70s.
Am I on mute?
70s.
Yes, you are.
Hey, Neil, we missed
How dare
you.
you?
Why are you late, Neil?
You know, these days off throw me for a loop. Like Saturday there was nothing, so I figured Tuesday there's nothing.
You don't think, Neil. You just tune in.
That doesn't follow.
Oh, it follows my logic.
Okay. Well, luckily you don't have a
But
science.
I'm glad we have something.
We have something? What do we have?
You have a show going on. I'm happy for that.
Yep. So you're happy.
And
He's a
Pat
happy guy.
bursting with love.
He's a happy guy.
Don't you remember that from the Odd Couple? Happy and peppy and bursting with love.
No.
Oh, good. I need still to shout out a super chat that was going in the chat. It's one of Sasha's Unit of Spemu. He says, when I was on 24/7, I was unmuted, but I didn't speak. Interesting, huh?
Just looking at chat, Betty. It's just.
Uh-oh.
We were talking about. Oh, well, not so much today. Yours now, but Nathan's this afternoon. Tony's in there. Sleeping Warrior. Shout out, Sleeping Warrior. I know you have to do that yourself earlier. But Phil B's in there now, and Tony went in earlier. But talking about things they're going to start bringing up again. What Phil B brought up, I noticed, was the Southern Cross,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently you can see it from. And what's noticeable this time from Phil's thing was that it's from 2 continents now. Previously, it's always been 3, hasn't it? That the sighting would be. So we've noticed the slight seed change as this one comes up. But I think, as Phil's brought it up, I think this is what might have been last week's team ball and meeting project of what's going to be thrown at us. So but noted that it was 2, not 3 now.
But they always get that claim wrong. Every one of them get their own claim wrong.
Yep.
Every single one of them. It's not the Southern Cross. It's supposed to be Sigma Octantis.
Yep.
From 3 different locations, and it's only at one point in the year, and it's a mathematical thing within the globe. It's only at one point in the year. I think it's only for a day or 2. I can't remember exactly. But they always get it wrong. I mean, the last time I heard that claim being correct was back in 2015, early 2016. It was the last time any of them got it correct.
Yeah.
Tony.
I was going to tackle that topic. Remember, QE, that I was like going over this today, but I had a guy that had a video about the Southern Cross and how that in the beginning of the evening it would be upright, and at the end of the night it would be in the early of the morning it would be like upside down right, and he was like, well, boggled about that too because he was a flat earther, and that video is like off the internet. It's not there anymore, and I hope that I have like downloaded it because I wanted to use it, because he said something interesting on that video that I hope to ascertain again. But yeah, there's it has to do with perspective, right? We have little understanding about celestial perspective, right? In the sense of vanishing points and that sort of stuff, and it has to do with that. And if you can grab that in a it's not a science thing. It's just a discovery, basically, how it works. And if you know how it could work, then you understand the whole plot, and then you can understand that there's only one pole, and it's the North Pole.
The Southern Cross, though, does move around. If I remember correctly, it moves around the Sigma Octantis, what they call it. We can't see Sigma Octantis. It's just a name they give to like a central point, but it moves around that. I'm not sure the frequency of it, but it does move around that. So it will change its position in the sky. But the stupidity of the ballers arguing for the Southern Cross is that the Southern Crosses can often be seen in Florida, Texas, North Africa, the Philippines. I mean, these are all north of the equator. So if 3 people on a globe are looking at the Southern Cross at those times of the year, then they're not looking south, are they? You know what I mean? They have to be looking somewhat north, or they're looking some direction that isn't south.
This is the weird thing with this, Brian, at this Southern Cross claim. I mean, they try to conflate it with the pole star, as if it's got the same significance. I think, from my understanding, Tony says 60 degrees. I've got 35 degrees in my head, south latitude. What's that? Maybe 65. But the point fundamentally is it's nowhere near the supposed South Pole. They then, I think, as you mentioned, Brian, extrapolate Sigma Octantis, this thing you can't see, nobody sees, as if that's actually there, and it's in relation to this Southern Cross that's not. Fundamentally, it's not an equivalent of the pole star. It's not.
No, Adam. It was only the Southern Cross. See, this is what happens when you just believe a load of rubbish your whole life and you never actually investigate or learn on, right?
Yeah.
Right. The Southern Cross is used by navigators at sea for years. Well, probably not anymore because they have GPS and different things. But it was always used by navigators at sea because it always points to Sigma Octantis. Not that it is Sigma Octantis. They don't even read. Most of them don't know the difference between the two. This is the problem. They don't learn anything.
They just mindlessly parrot what they've heard others say, but they don't know the arguments. It's usually just a phrase or a term like gravity or refraction. It's just, they just throw that out there like it's an argument, like phrases and terms. But then the moment you start digging right underneath their claim, the surface of it, it just crumbles, right? And then the name calling ensues.
Yeah.
That last bit, Bri, the bit, in terms of it where it's point, that's the claim I think that Tony's had on with 3, and now as I'm saying they're going to 2, to demonstrate that point of pointing, that's terrible English, of the Southern Cross, is to the same point, through all 3 of the supposed places that they used to say you could do it from the 3 continents in the south. So again, that's a really fundamental thing that you'd think they would have provided us by now on their model. It's easy to throw out, surely. It's another good demonstration.
I was just going to ask, Adam, has anybody provided this observation yet after like 7 years?
No.
No. So we're still doing, if somebody made this observation, it would prove we're on a globe. 7 years later, nobody's made this observation.
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. But now we're at 2 instead of 3. Please note what Phil B put in. It's 2 now, not 3.
I challenged him a long time ago. We should do that presentation again. I think it was many years ago. Rumpus because that was one of his claims. He's just parroting it from somebody else. And I told him what he needed to provide. No models, no graphics. You need to provide each person's location on the 3 different continents. This is real easy. Then we need a visual with a compass bearing to Sigma Octantis. That's on for the 3 of them. It's real easy. We need the compass. We need them shoot the compass bearing. So their location, GPS, then a compass bearing. We need a visual for that. The compass and Sigma Octantis, even though you can't see it, but in the general vicinity of it. We need all that's all we need and the time. Right?
I object to that.
Why not?
It still wouldn't prove Earth is a sphere, though.
I know it wouldn't,
Even if
but it's a lot of fun.
Well, the problem is that their actual claim these days, because maybe they've lost intelligence since 2015-16.
Oh,
the claim
that's for
these
sure.
days is the Southern Cross. They're not even claiming Atlantis anymore. So what they need to do is come up with all that for the Southern Cross, which will be impossible because the Southern Cross will never be south to three of them at the same time, even if we were on a globe, because it moves around. It's never south to everyone. It's south to the border. It can't be. They don't know what they're talking about. Again.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the time that I think I did a presentation on this one time that this guy put like a Weeble Wobble on a flat Earth model, and he put them on each of the different continents, and then he got a picture off of Google, the same picture, and just rotated it, and then put that graphic where the guys were looking at. Did you ever see that? I'm going to have to rerun that show, man. That is too damn funny.
It does sound familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I'm wondering about that whole compass thing too. I mean, isn't it so that the Australians have a sort of a modified or an adjusted compass?
What?
I
The
think that
Australians have a sort of an adjusted compass.
Yeah, I heard what you said. I didn't mean to say go ahead and repeat it. I meant
Oh, this well, it seemed like you didn't understand. So
those Australia. So, Brian, you were down in Australia. Where's Mitchell?
yeah, where's Mitchell from Australia?
We need his Australian adulterated compass.
Yeah. Well, maybe Brian does know.
Go ahead,
I
Brian.
think, Betty, that's a magnetic declination issue, where the claim is that we have several different norths, and one of them is magnetic north, right? This is a globe claim. And one of them is magnetic north, and because of where Australia is, their compass is different than our compass, so north is in a different direction, right? But it's not. Magnetic north is still always magnetic north. It's a load of rubbish. It's just globe nonsense that they have to add in. You know, Australia, if we're on a globe and all things are globe, then this has to be the case. But magnetic north is still exactly the same in Australia as it is everywhere else. And the proof of that is when you look north, because this will go back to what you were talking about just before I came in. When you stand and look north in Australia, what direction are stars coming from? From your right side. Same as standing and looking north from absolutely everywhere else in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you know where north is? Because you have a compass.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's still a sort of a strange anomaly with the whole compass in Australia. Seems that they somehow want to hide something with that. That it's a little positioned, little different, maybe. Than we
What
think.
the compass is positioned a little down. Yeah, you're losing me on this.
Australia.
A compass is a compass, no matter where you're at.
When I was a little flat earther, you know, when you first start, you look at compasses and that, don't you? And you check, oh, do they work different in the, and excuse my vernacular, but this is the way you're thinking, in the southern hemisphere. What the hell happens on the equator, really? If you, because they used to claim that they'd align to the southern pole because that was the stronger magnetic field, which is, if you follow in magnetics, it should do. Best to my understanding from looking into it is all compasses point north wherever you are on the plane. Yeah. Maybe declination. Declination is an adjustment for a projectioned map.
Yeah, that's a completely different topic. It's connected, but it's different. Right?
Say that
All
again.
compasses just
Say that again
point
because it might be...
north, irrespective of what colour you in the end.
What do they mean with the declination then?
The declination is a map thing that you have to adjust the declination It's a navigation type of thing. It has nothing. I don't want to say it doesn't have anything to do with the compass, but it does, but not the internal compass. If you following me.
Not the working of it, I understand.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, what does it mean for... Why do you need another compass?
Why do you need another compass?
Yes,
You don't need another compass.
I think they do. I think they really do. Yes, I think I've seen that. I think we need another compass.
Wait, you put it on top of
Betty,
Well,
Betty, declination is just an angle issue. If you can imagine a boat, now I'm just going to use the Gleason's map. If you imagine a boat sailing across the southern Pacific,
mhm.
is the angle that you start off with, let's say it's South America, right? Or let's just say South Africa, is that going to, your direct angle to, let's say the north, is that going to change? If you hold that exact line, is that angle line going to change as you go straight across? If you were to do that, I don't know if boats do sail straight across there, I don't think they do. But the point is that if you did, the angle is going to change. You have an initial first angle to north, and then when you move, the angle changes. And
Why?
they want you to believe that there's like 3 norths. There isn't. There's 1 north. I have found no evidence that there's more than 1 north.
Yeah. So
No evidence.
if their angle then changes, couldn't it be that Australia is not where we think it is on the map?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's variances in declination. You've got these kind of bigger variances where you've got the sweeping arcs, which appear to be just the magnetic lines, how they do curve the center, and you have to have adjustment in navigation for that. But then, if you look at Mercator's 1500, 1400 stuff, I brought this up on because again, you look at that Mercator protection and you see the big islands in the middle, Rupus Nigra Altissima, which you always assume is the same point because it positions the pole star. So you assume because it's these big black rocks that's also the same position of the magnetic. But I was reading it and going through the Latin, and there is another position on even Mercator's, which is to the northeast, which is where he says the actual true position of the magnetic sources. So there's that declination and that's what he cites to calculate for that slight adjustment at the center.
It's a map. It's a map thing because you're comparing two different things. You're trying to compare grid to magnetics. Follow, Betty?
So
yeah.
But
why?
me. That was you stole my thunder, John.
Why is it only different for Australia and not for other?
But it's not. It's not only different for Australia. There's different declinations and different parts of the Earth that you have to use to navigate with a map via a compass. You just have to make a conversion.
If I could just finish my rambling.
Go ahead, ramble on.
Yeah. The point I was going to make was this island that doesn't exist on any maps. It's not there. The point is that Mercator's saying the congruency of the polar system via stars and the magnetic system appears to have the magnetic source here. It's just the alignment. Like I said, you stole my thunder. It's the alignment of the two systems,
right?
That places that there is my best figuring because none of it's there on the maps.
Well, to me, when I looked into it several times, they made up this geographic north and claimed that was north. That's basically what they did. We have no evidence that they're not all. It's like the corrections that you have to make using a map. It's only down to the map, but the map is never correct, is it? How correct are maps? The best correct maps are the smallest ones, would take in the smallest area, like 50 or 60 square miles.
Right.
something like that or less. You know, QE in the military, were you using a map of the whole world? Were you using smaller maps?
No,
You're
we
using small maps.
always use small maps. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Because the big maps are nonsense.
Yeah,
and we know that.
Yep. And they're all flat.
Again.
Yeah.
But none of them are the terrain. Yeah, none of them are real. They're just systems we can use to navigate. Yeah, but none of them are actually a true representation of the surface themselves, are they? It's and that's why I think how they can build the ball. It's the reification of two models and how they converge as to how you can turn the map into the terrain and justify it. It's how they try to turn the protractor into the surface.
GPS uses a huge collection of small maps, and it uses that's why it uses the Cartesian the 3D Cartesian coordinate system. But what they do is they use this huge collection of smaller maps, and they're all OS maps. They're all Ordnance Survey maps, which are the most accurate maps we've got in the modern world, and they're all Cartesian coordinates, flat out maps. So they're using flat earth to flat earth to flat earth to flat earth all the time, and then they just claim a ball at the end of it. You know, it's called nonsense. They're never using a big map. GPS is always directing you through an intricate, smaller map. You know, if you look into how GPS, not just how it works, but how the mapping is done, and you look into the layering of the mapping, and there's a couple of other offshoots to GPS that connect to it. It's like it's all small maps. When I say small, like there could be 100 square miles, but they're not like a world size map. You know, they might be working within 20 square miles, or 100 square miles, whichever. Depends on what way you're using GPS. But if you're driving your car from one place to another, you're being brought from one flat plane to the next flat plane, and they're all just cubes, 3-dimensional cubes. Or if you're talking about 2 dimensionals, they're just squares. That's how GPS works. It might give you your coordinates in latitude and longitude, but the raw coordinates coming out of a GPS unit is always Cartesian flat plane.
Yep.
So people don't realize that.
Good. Fundamentally, it's not like celestial navigation. This is actually using solid geometry with trilateration to locate, but that all of the parameters are solid. They're real. They exist in dimensions. Might sound a bit waffly, but do you understand what I'm saying, Brian? In terms of these are all real points with real altitudes, and actual real geometric calculations are the things that locate you.
Well, yes, I mean they are. Well, I've been looking into it, Adam, and it seems that they use triangulation more than trilateration. The trilateration claim they need for the satellites, but what you're saying is correct because they're using landmarks. They're using landmarks and signals from landmarks. Let's say a signal from a high point or whatever. But most people are using their phones within cities and urban areas or somewhat places that are somewhat populated. But GPS, what people don't realize, GPS has the celestial almanac within it, and it uses it all the time. But they won't go into it. They keep talking about satellites and I'll put it this way. Let's just say I have a GPS unit and I'm on a globe, and I have I'm getting 4 direct microwave signals from 4 satellites. And then I do a back calculation using a 2-way speed of light calculation because there's no measurement. And then I know my distance to these 4 satellites. What does that tell me about anything? It doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you anything. Sorry.
If you're going to place a tower, you'll use the stars to confirm your exact locations as well. I think military stuff does that.
Yeah, the GPS uses the stars. Most people don't even realize that. They don't advertise it much, but you look into it. The almanac, they're using the nautical almanac. They're using the stars. But more than that, this thing about trilateration. Right, let's just say I know my distance. I have a receiver, and there's 4 satellites, and they're all 10 to 13,000 miles away. And I know my distance to these different satellites, and I'm standing on the surface of Earth. And I have the GP positions, or what they call sub-satellite points, of all these satellites, right? So I know where my distance with my receiver to these satellites, and I know there are sub-satellite points on the surface of Earth, right? Do I know my distance to those sub-satellite points? No. What do I need? What do GPS do? Do GPSs have internal compasses? Yes. Does it have internal mapping? Yes. Does it have altimeters? Yes. Why do they need all these other things if all they need is a microwave signal calculation to a satellite? It's total and utter rubbish. I can know my distance from the ground to any amount of things in the sky, but that won't give me a straight line distance from my position to any other position on the Earth, including their sub-satellite points, which would be a GP position for a star.
Because all that other stuff is just in case the satellite doesn't work out. That's what.
Yeah, but this is it, Chocolate. This is another situation where we have a load of people, all ballers, and unfortunately the majority of the world, they just believe things. They're told that if you know your calculated, which is a two-way speed of light calculation, something because there's no measurement because it doesn't exist, to some supposed point in the sky that's supposed to be 10 to 13,000 miles away, and you know its geographical position directly underneath it, let's just say on the surface of Earth, regardless of if you believe the Earth is flat, or if you know the Earth is flat, or you believe it's a ball, doesn't matter. You still don't know what the hell, you still don't know what distance there is between you and the receiver and that point on the surface of Earth. It doesn't matter. Your distance to something in the sky is not going to tell you your distance to that thing on the Earth. You would need an altitude. You would need to do triangulation. What is triangulation? Use triangles. And what is the base of an angle flat? Yeah, it has to be. You know, they don't know what, these people don't do any research into any of this. They just, trilateration and satellites in the sky and a straight line distance to them, and that tells us everything. No, it doesn't. They should look into the other things, the information they get. Like, trilateration is the least of it, if you really look into it.
Yes, I'm still here, Betty.
Yeah, me too.
I thought you'd ask. I thought it was coming at some point. I just wanted to let you know I didn't leave.
Well, I mean, this is an open panel, right? So it's nice to have other people talk for a while, right?
I'm
That's
telling
good.
you. What was your advice to me before?
Shut up.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't specific. Explicitly, what was it?
I have no idea anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good discussion. I like Brian. He's just wailing away at these ballers. He's not even trying anymore. It's just go ahead.
They're not even trying anymore.
No, I told you at the beginning of the show they're getting dumber. The arguments are getting dumber.
Most of the argument I hear now is why would you even expect to see, insert whatever claim I'm making, on Earth? That's literally their argument now. Why would you expect, we live on a ball. All right, where's the curvature? Well, why would you expect to see curvature? Oh, it's rotating. Well, why would you expect to see the Earth rotating? I mean, this is how they sound right now. It's insanity.
Yeah. Sometimes I miss the old days with in 2016 when we first started these conversations and stuff and debates. Everything was so new then, and all these new things popped up. But it's now chewed down to the bare minimum. It's like, yeah, baby food.
All right.
You chewed that down already or not?
All right, let's go home.
Hello?
I'm here.
I said, did you chew that banana down already?
I did. I only ate 3/4 of it. I got 3/4 of it left because I wasn't sure how long-winded people were going to be.
Yeah.
I've got more wind.
I know you do.
Well, maybe we
Well-
should start with Adam then for the last bit. Huh?
The last bit. Does somebody have to be somewhere?
Yes. Well, you said take it down. What did you say? Something like it's gonna end, right?
It's going to end at some point. But I still got a little bit of time. Go ahead, Adam. What do you want to say?
When we were talking there with Brian about GPS and that, and I was saying it's real geometry. And there was a little bit of Hemp sends me loads of stuff. And one of the things he sent me was it's a book called Catechism of the Decimal, Albert, and Metric System of Weights and Measures, which is a right mouthful. It's from 1869, and it's kind of a proposal, pre-metrics, to just unify measurement systems, but also using celestial astronomy. I just want to read the question and then just the response, because I quite like the response in terms of geometry or non-geometry. So yeah, so the question is, yes, that is true. One meridian, one God, one religion, one language, one law, one coinage, one system of weights and measures, one everything else. Excuse my French, but on n'est pas bâti, Paris dans un jour. Excuse that. Says the proverb. Now pray, would you kindly tell me what Queen Victoria's new astronomical meridian is? And the answer is all the above mentioned imaginary points, lines, and circles are supposed to be extended to an arbitrary height in the heavens, so that the astronomers may imagine themselves in the middle of a celestial sphere, in the center of an imaginary globe, contained under one regular and imaginary surface. That shows a real understanding of what celestial navigation is, both what it's played out upon and how it works for us, and that there are people keep talking about star heights, but as it says here, look, lines and circles are supposed to be extended to any arbitrary height in the heavens. This is not geometry. Navigation.
Are they back on that, trying to solve the triangle, trying to get the height of the the height of the star? Sorry.
Yeah, we've had a bit of that recently. I think even from flat earthers, because we want to know things, and it would be logical if it works on the ground. Why wouldn't it then pinpoint what's in the sky? And that's the point I'm making here. Even back then, 1869,
right?
This was understood. This isn't arbitrary.
Yeah, right. It doesn't matter. I mean, number one, celestial navigation and celestial navigators are not trying to solve triangles. You solve triangles during with many other disciplines, including geometry and trigonometry class. But in celestial navigation, no one's trying to solve a triangle. So what do we mean by solving a triangle? Does anyone know what that means?
I know what that means.
What does it mean?
For an angle, for it's like you use that for an angular size measurement, or the distance, or the distance to gain a distance to an object of a known height. So you're solving for the internal angles, whereas with an elevation angle, you are using the external zenith angle.
I'll give you partial credit. I'll give you partial credit. It's just simply solving for all the angles and the lengths of each side.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
And as Brian was saying, that's exactly what happens with his GPS. That never happens.
Are you eating a banana, Adam?
He's eating something, Betty. I was gonna say it.
yeah. He's eating.
Just a sandwich. But that's the point. we don't solve for triangles in celestial. We're gifted from the heavens the
Right.
side length.
Exactly.
Which corresponds. Yeah.
Yep, you got it. Exactly. No one solves. Just show me in a naval almanac where they solved the triangle and all the equations that are needed for people out on the oceans to solve the triangle. I'd like to see that. It's not in there. The reason why is they're not trying to solve triangles in celestial navigation. They're trying to find their position. And you don't need to solve the triangle for that. So I don't know what they just know. It's like it's degradation. It's doofus degradation of dipshittery, because it's totally irrelevant. It's almost it's not almost. It's a red herring fallacy. Very incoherent diversion away from the actual topic. I'm not getting it.
Neither. Hey.
Good.
Yeah, are you talking about QE when they ask us for the height of the star on our flat Earth? That kind of question.
Yes. Yeah, it's preposterous.
Yeah, I attacked that some months back, and about the heights that they claim, because they do claim heights.
Yep.
And I didn't get any positive responses from them. But Nathan was talking about that on the show earlier today. I heard some of the show, and Nathan was pointing out that they're pointing that out to us, looking for us to claim a height or give them a height to a star, because they actually do claim heights, and that keeps us away from asking them, are they using their heights to their stars within celestial navigation on their globe?
See, you said something very important. Within the context of celestial navigation, the height of celestial objects are irrelevant. They don't even deal with them. You'll find no information on that in celestial navigation whatsoever. However, outside celestial navigation, of course, yeah, they have the distances to those celestial objects. They're just in a category there. They try to marry those two things up, and it's moronic, right?
I mean, supposedly we could land helicopters on a light in the sky we call Mars. So supposedly, I would think we know that distance, right? Quote unquote, know that distance. But yet, in another instance, we have to pretend all those things up there. We don't know any heights. We don't know that. It's all infinite distances away, and yeah. Insanity, man.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what celestial navigation was. I'm saying the ballers as a whole, and I can safely say that. I can stereotype this because I haven't heard a single baller. When I say baller, I mean people out here in the circuit. I'm not talking about Joe down the street. I'm talking about these numpty dipshits on the circuit. I have yet to find one baller to know what even celestial navigation is. They wouldn't know what it was if it climbed up their arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in concertina wire. It's shown over and over and over again. You got Mr. Challenge, MC Booger Eater, McBooger Eaters. He has no idea, right? He's absolutely clueless. He basically admitted it on that one show. I was watching Nathan's short clips over the past couple of days. They're pretty funny, but you could tell I was, because I got some material out of there. But, I mean, how do you make a challenge when the first step is to obtain an elevation angle, and the only way to obtain an elevation angle is from a flat, level baseline or horizontal baseline? I think he finally realized that on one of his shows, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who he was with, but he stumbled and fumbled and bumbled his way through it, and he just couldn't speak to it anymore. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think that was the one where Brian Leakey was on the show with him. Remember Brian did that? Yeah. I think that was that one.
And he's one of the leaders because he came out with the challenge. Of course, it's not his challenge. That came via Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, who got it from the proto-Thad dipshit that we embarrassed live on the show, right? That's the chain of custody.
Well, it's actually what's his name? That you just McToon. He actually does claim that his challenge is his, and it's different from the original proto one. Because he claimed that to me. Because I said to him, I said, "You only get that's just the proto's challenge." I said, "We destroyed that." I said ages ago on the debate. No, this is my one. It's not the same. That's what he said to me. That was his words to me.
I don't know. Go ahead, Adam.
Betty, can you see the chat? Yeah. You know, you're saying you're disappointed earlier. Look, this is what Phil B's brought up, right? So after we just said about celestial navigation, using GPS ones, geometry ones, not, yeah? This is what we get to have to go, like, oh, that's worth chewing, isn't it? Ha ha, geometry, and specifically trigonometry, is the same for right-angled triangles wherever you are. See, all they're left with is making statements of truth that appear that somehow they've got an argument. I'm not disagreeing with any of that, Phil, but did you listen to anything before you tried to make a point?
Who's he arguing with, the air?
I don't know. This is all they've got now. Look, what's that? Am I supposed to go away and construct an argument for him against what I've just said, against what is just basic geometric truth? Well done, Phil. You understand triangles. That's actually an improvement, actually, on the past 6 months.
My question is, why is he even showing up in these chat? Phil, have you listened to the numpty clips? Your special one was about, I don't know, over a year ago, right? This is tantamount to the chairman of PETA showing up for work the next day after he was videotaped live clubbing baby seals with a nail spike 44-inch Louisville Slugger and thinking no one's going to notice. Why are you even here, Phil? You need to go watch that numpty clip, brother, because I don't know, you're whistling past the graveyard or something. That was one of the stupidest performances I've ever witnessed, and I've witnessed a lot over the years. Maybe I should play it all over again just in case you forgot. Yeah?
He's your brother?
Who's my brother?
He called him brother.
Who called him brother?
You did.
I did not
call him.
Oh, jeez.
He called him brother.
It was more of a pejorative brother.
Yeah, well, I wanted you to have a chance to explain that because.
Thanks, Betty. That's really deep.
I thought you were getting profound there, Betty, for a second.
It usually ends this way where it's not profound at all. It's just silly.
Well, you know, not really. I think the flat earth attitude is slightly different. I don't view these numpties as people that shouldn't breed, yeah? I can't say the same for him. For me, the level of hatred you feel from these guys towards us isn't reciprocated from our side to them. But maybe there is a little bit of, what's the word?
Superchat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Shatner's bassoon.
He saved you, Adam.
Shall I shout it out? It's like from Shatner's bassoon. He says, "Have a beer on me, QE."
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Honey, you can have a beer.
Are you a beer guy, QE, or?
I drink that. Listen, I drank quite heavily. I never liked it though. But just listen. Don't make any conclusions just yet. So I was never I did drink a lot when I was younger, but I never really enjoyed it. It was more of it wasn't peer pressure. All my friends did. So I did. I was never like addicted to alcohol. And right now, I quit for like 25 years. Not right now, but I quit drinking alcohol completely for 25 years. It was easy because I was never really attracted to it. But now I use it medicinally because I have some sleeping issues since I'm starting to get older. Did I answer your question? I do drink a beer every now and again. Yes.
I thought it was a cold turkey.
I do drink a little bit of wild turkey, but that's for medicinal purposes. I was never, like I said, me as an alcoholic, that's a contradiction in terms. I just never appealed to me.
I find it funny that you're sort of prone to peer pressure.
Back when I was younger, I was prone to a lot of things.
Time out. I was just explaining to my wife that's exactly how I was with alcohol.
Yeah.
You just told my story.
Hey, Billy Zig, thanks. Billy Zig, super chat. Go ahead, Betty.
Yeah, he says, and have a beer from me too.
Thanks,
so
Billy.
everybody was drunk, basically.
Honey, you're getting drunk tonight.
Well, like your wife is now the alcoholic, right?
my wife, if she took 2 sips of wine, that'd be it for her.
Yeah, she got this reddish blushes on her cheeks.
Oh yeah, she'd be through. She'd have to go to sleep.
Like my mom.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah, my wife doesn't drink. Never drank in her life. Yeah. I don't know how we got on this drinking thing. Oh yeah, super chats.
Yeah.
The thing about alcohol is that if you start drinking too much of it, you stop learning things. Do you know what I mean? It becomes it's like if you have any kind of intellectual pursuits, drinking alcohol goes against it, because your brain will be too foggy for a couple of days, and then all you want to do is go back to drinking.
Yeah,
you know
that's what it is. See, Adam can relate to that.
He's an exception.
He's an exception.
He's a panel member.
Adam, I think AFK too, because you would have.
Yeah.
But Adam has control. Adam can have a couple of drinks and leave it at that.
No, that's not what he said before. Adam's like drinking whole bottles of wine.
Yeah, but like if I was to drink, I'd drink 4 bottles of wine, and I'd have to stop myself at 4.
4 bottles of wine? Where do you leave that?
Yeah, that's the thing about it. Yeah, you know, I think my record was 8.5.
Oh man!
Now I know why the Bible calls people vessels, right? Just pouring wine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. You see, I think about alcohol, like you can get completely carried away with it, you know. So I take big breaks off of it.
Somebody said they could see me as an alcoholic. No, you can't, man. Now it's not that.
I wanted to say that too.
It's not that I have been sloppy faced drunk hundreds and the high hundreds of times in my life. That was back when I was really young, you know, in my teenage years, you know, in the real weird years. Because
you know that you lose basically brain cells when you drink, right?
How so? What's the mechanism?
Well, it's scientific, you know.
Okay, I figured as much. So I used to do a bunch of stupid shit. We're not going to get into that. This is not an intervention for me today.
Why not?
Nah,
you can't say yourself. That's for us to decide.
it would be a serious intervention because that's not me anymore. I mean, that was back in the, you know, when you're young, dumb, and stupid. Right?
You got a big super chat, by the way, from Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum.
Sweet!
He says, $10 after YouTube takes 50%, get a Bitcoin Addy. I'd prefer you get 100%.
Ah, I see what you're doing there. Thanks, Lumpy Gas and Vacuum. Appreciate that. Yeah, you're right. YouTube takes 30%. But that's still a big friggin' number, though. You're in the ballpark. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So get yourself a Bitcoin address and get all that money, brother.
Yeah, and lose it in the end.
All right. So what else do we got? Is Adam still here, or did he get upset after me calling him
They
a
might
heavy
have
drinker?
had some Discord problems again, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see if that whole region is still on the table. Yeah. Still.
Thanks, Divergent Droid. Hopefully that would work out.
Adam, can you talk? Can you at least unmute?
It only depends on what direction he's facing.
Oh, brother.
I think he has a problem again.
He's got a problem
Can
again?
you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you, Adam.
My whole internet just stopped there. Everything jinxed tonight.
Ever
sorry.
since people called you an alcoholic?
No, I was just getting into that. Trying to get a bit of abuse.
I thought of it.
I won't worry at the levels you're talking about. I learned that a glass of red wine a day is actually beneficial for you.
That's correct.
Oh, come on. Is that scientific?
No, not really.
Especially when it's quite
Medical.
quaffable, right, Adam?
Well, some of it could be.
Only when it's quaffable. And yes, there is
Very
scientific evidence
quaffable.
for that.
Oh, yeah. So with the brain cells, but
Yeah, same thing.
yeah.
I don't
But
think it's that. I think it's to do with stickiness of platelet cells. You can show that some of the flavonoids in particularly red wine have a similar effect to antiplatelet effect to like aspirin does, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that alcohol sort of gets the collagen out of your skin. Get yourself a dry skin with wrinkles.
What in the world?
It's true. I've seen many people drinking all kinds of red, especially the red wines, and they are like wrinkled as yeah.
Oh,
can be.
how did we ever get here?
It's scientific. You know?
Superchat.
Next, it'll be Mexican hairless dogs or something.
Powder puffs.
I think
Well,
it's just a mixture of
I
red
could,
and
I could
white
see
wine.
Betty
Becky.
being a bit of a lush.
You could see Betty being a bit of a lush. Is that what you said?
Yep.
I hardly drink anything.
Way to go, chocolate.
I don't like beer. I don't like any alcohol at all. Also,
Well,
haven't ever touched a cigarette. Don't like it.
Spoken like a true lush.
Yeah, that's usually that when you're a lush and you deny it, that means you're a lush.
Also the NPD
Yep.
stuff.
It's very strong. If you're an alcoholic and you deny being an alcoholic, that's very strong proof that you're an alcoholic.
Okay. So how can I sort of reprove myself or clean myself up from that sort of like accusation?
From alcohol?
No.
Admit that you are an alcoholic, even if you're not.
There you go,
Yeah.
chocolate. Tell her again.
What did he say?
I said to come out of that, you have to now admit that you are an alcoholic, even if you're not.
Yes. Well, to what with that? To the truth.
That was the only logical conclusion I could come to, chocolate, which is why I stayed quiet.
Is that why you call yourself an alcoholic, Adam?
I speak in terms of logic, man.
Oh my God,
Can't do
your
anything
logic
else.
is like way off. You're not a
Stop
Vulcan, are you?
drinking. I just don't want to have that tested.
What tested?
I enjoy drinking. I enjoy eating. I enjoy watching football. Well, I don't want to just say, "Oh, look, I could go without this thing I enjoy." Unless there's something dominating your life and it actually rules how you get up, then and how you live your day, then that's an alcoholic to me. You know what I mean? That's your issue, not necessarily.
If you still can sort
having-
of function, Adam, then you're not an alcoholic, but you need it every day.
I need food every day. And when I eat food, I like to have a glass of wine with it.
But you haven't been born with like having to have alcohol, right? It's not. Your mother didn't give that to you.
Well,
Had a
you're
little
not born
whiskey.
needing ribeyes either.
Well, she might have ate those. give them to him.
That's
but,
not actual ribeye. You didn't eat them.
The point I was making, there's a difference between the psychological effect, isn't there, and needing that all day long as an addiction, to, as I justify my addiction, having it for a couple of hours in the evening. Even Sherlock Holmes wasn't high at the time.
Adam, are you trembling in the morning?
Oh no.
I am. I do. With my bow addiction.
Unless you have drink already, right?
That's holding, aiming too long. So you got to let it go earlier.
Hey, this one, I got you. So just want to let everyone know. So I started shooting in December. Might as well switch topics because this one's going nowhere.
Well, alcoholics.
Until Betty gets me to admit I'm alcoholic, I don't think it was.
Yeah. So,
well, he's advocating for alcoholism now.
No, I'm not. I'm not advocating for. I'm advocating for my personal addiction. Don't overtalk me. So I just want to tell everyone that I've reached Bo self-actualization, and it happened. It happened. Shh. Happened a few days ago. I started shooting in December, and I'm going to tell you what happened a few days ago. I went out there, and I usually practice at about 15 yards just to warm up. I stepped back to 35 yards, and I drew back, and I aimed, and my pin would not leave the center of the target for the first time in my life. It almost scared me. Right? And for almost 2.5 hours, because I was addicted to it, right? My pin wouldn't move. I was just mashing that center X at 35 yards all afternoon. I was in nirvana, right? So I just want to let everyone know that I reached self-actualization, but I'm not stopping anymore because I'm still after the magical flight of the arrow.
Wait, so you've reached the archery equivalent of the singularity?
Yes.
Cool, man.
It
became the one. Did you actually see the Matrix and stuff?
I did. Exactly.
That's how you felt, though, right?
Say again?
Is it safe to say you're on point?
Yeah, I was right on point. It, like I said, when it first it was one of the first drawback. I said, let me go back to 35 yards. That's a pretty good distance. That's the maximum distance I can shoot where I'm shooting at right now. But that's pretty good poke. I went back there and it just sat there. The float just sat there. Usually you get a little case of the shakes. I call them the jimmies. Got a little case of the jimmies. And you have to be real careful when you got jimmies. But anyway, I didn't have any jimmies. I was so addicted to it because it never happened before. Now I know that it's possible. It just drives me even more. Yeah, I love it. I have to admit. It's righteous. In fact,
like I was shooting through a pipe.
In fact, I got it all set up behind me. It's laying on my bed.
He's sleeping with her. He has called.
Did you name the bow?
Yes, he did.
What is the name of the bow?
Sexy. It's an SR350. It's called Sexy Rachel.
Sexy Rachel.
There she is too, right there. Just hold on. There she is, right there for you. It'll come at you here in a minute if you're on YouTube.
And she's entering into a pageant.
I would have thought you would have called it like the Predator or something.
No, it's a girl.
She's curved.
Yes, because the bow is definitely female.
Yeah, it definitely is. She's a wicked temptress. Look at that. I call her Sexy Bow Beast.
Oh, I actually have heard you say that before.
Yeah, I figured you did, right? There she is. Can everyone see her? That's a sexy beast right there, boy.
And lethal, too.
Oh, yeah. Here's another one. Oh, did I put her over there? Okay. Let's see if I can get another one on her. That show up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. See how sexy she is. Go next one.
Yeah, I see it.
Ooh. She's a scrumptious little strumpet.
Did you buy her a pink towel knowing that she's a girl?
Yes, I did.
Oh, very nice.
I can't put those cams in the grass. They'll get dirty.
You got a archery related super chat.
Sweet, Penny.
Yeah, he says, Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum says, I have PSE Stinger Generation 3, Gen 3. You motivated to purchase QE?
Negative. Why should I go after a PSE, which is of lower quality, when I had the sexy Bobies?
Oh, God.
Not what he said.
What'd he say?
He said,
He's
I
saying
have a
that you
PS3
motivated.
Stinger Gen 3. You motivated the purchase.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. I take all that back, Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum. The PSE is a fine shooting animal.
Yeah, there was no question mark in there, right? That's super chat. I might have read that wrong.
Did I recover?
It's my fault.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. I have PSE
Huey,
Stinger.
can I ask you?
Go ahead.
How you don't seem to have any interest in the likes of the long bow or the Japanese bow or the Chinese bow. How come you're not interested in those ones as much?
Because
How
those are
come
for
you like the
sissies.
compound? For what?
Because they're for sissies.
Sissies.
If you shoot a tri-X, if you shoot a longbow, if you shoot a crossbow, you're a freaking sissy.
I think a longbow is like you have to hold that weight while you're shooting, right? While you're aiming and that sort of stuff. These cams help you out when you redraw to keep it that way. So that's for sissies.
No. It's harder to draw. That's more poundage. Listen.
Yeah, but after you've done that, that's done. It's a one.
No, it's not done. You got a holding weight back in the back. Now, some people make the holding weight a little high. You're right in a sense to a point. However, you can take a longbow or any of the stick bows and stuff, and at the maximum arrow speed, with everything else being equal, let's say I picked that and put my arrow in there, it would travel about max 150 to 160 feet per second out of one of those bows. You put that same arrow in my bow, that thing's smoking it. She's a smoke wagon, 290 feet per second.
I'm not talking about the speed of the arrow and the amount of damage it can do. I mean, in the sense of the withdrawal and while you're drawing it back, pointing at stuff, keeping it straight, while you have all that poundage on your arm.
Yeah, that's even better for most people. You're steadier with more resistance. The less resistance you have in the wall, the more you'll move about, have the jimmies.
I don't know.
Yeah, think about it. The more resistance that you have back here, that'll keep the balance between your right arm and your left arm when you're trying to pull through the shot. That makes you steadier. Make sense?
I have to think about it.
Okay, you go ahead and think about it.
I shot a longbow once or twice, and you start trembling because you have to hold that whole drawback weight, right? And these cams help you out to just draw back strongly first, but the cams to keep you from keeping that whole weight of the drawback.
Yeah, it's called holding weight. You just repeated your same claim.
Yeah, yes, because maybe I might not be so articulate verbiage as you are. Right?
Oh, okay.
But then again, I mean, I know that if you have to hold the whole, suppose that you have a drawback of like 60 pounds, you say, right?
Mine is
And you have
60.
to-
Mine is 63 pounds. Yep.
Yeah, so then you need to keep that in check the whole time with a longbow.
Yeah. You're just repeating the same thing again.
Exactly, but that's more difficult.
No, it's not. And
It
you-
is. I want to see you shoot a longbow in the same manner as you
That's
did that
for
bow.
you won't. That's for wussies.
Yeah. Well, I need to see you do it before you can call it a wussy.
I already did, so it's too late.
Hey,
Okay.
so you had a guy in the neighborhood that shot longbow. Why don't you ask him?
I never said hello to the gentleman. He's a neighbor of mine. He lives up the street. We had never gotten a chance. I just seen him in the backyard shooting a longbow, but his definitely wasn't no 60 pounds.
So he's a wussy then.
He's a sissy.
So
yes.
You don't converse with sissies. Huh?
Exactly. I slap him.
This would make for a good comedy show with you and the neighbor.
Yeah. I'll slap that half a sissy. Not even a full sissy, a half of one. We're losing people.
We already did when you started talking about bows.
I don't know why. They're sexy.
Yeah, well, you have her and they don't.
I stopped talking about it. You kept going on and on and on about it. I just stopped talking about
it.
Jeez. So you were gonna elongate it by telling everyone I was gonna put her in a beauty pageant.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. So I woke up today and I jumped on the archery forum. It's a huge forum. With archers in it, and somebody had the wise idea, post a picture of your bow, and we're going to pick the best looking one out of them all. It's already over. As soon as I seen that, I said, it's over. But just give me the money.
Is there money in it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
As much as I adore this conversation about sexy inanimate objects, I have to go, so I'll bid you guys farewell.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming, Chocolate Man. We miss you, dude.
You talk.
No doubt, brother.
I'm
back.
And I'm going to use that Betty is a lush claim from here on out.
Thanks, Chocolate.
Anytime, Betty. You know I love you. All right, guys.
Yeah, take
Enjoy
it
the
easy,
rest of the
Chocolate.
show. Good to be
I
here.
have to go too.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to go. Seems like people are in a hurry to get out. It was a good conversation today. We're just gonna wrap her on up. How about that?
Yep. Seems good.
So bye.
Bye.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, we're not doing.
Let Brian give his goodbye talk.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna have to go. So I'll talk to you all during the week.
All right, Brian.
Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep.
Take care.
Hey, Brian.
What about you, Adam?
He has a glass of wine waiting on him.
I've got a bottle waiting.
Some sexy wine.
All right. Go ahead.
I've only got one question.
Go ahead.
What's the sun made of?
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Light.
I'm gonna be pushing it all week. I see where it ends up, but regardless, we're doing spectrochocoloscopy next week, so make sure you're there.
Choco's back, as we heard, so it's all good.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, we're all good, man. So let's wrap it up, Betty. Any final thoughts from you before I put you on mute? You old lush.
Well, first stop with the lush thing. Okay.
Lizzie the lush.
Mr. Sparky.
Liz the lush.
You chicken chucker.
You mother clucking rooster booster.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. This is going to go. Yeah.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Really nowhere.
Yeah. Go ahead, finish it up for us. Take us home.
So you are going to do the chocoloscopy. I'm trying to get something together with the Star Trail thing because it might be interesting if people sort of got to see the whole deal with it, right? With the perspective, the celestial perspective.
I agree.
I think that might do a lot for people. Maybe it will help Dr. Phil as well, but they sort of see it as an angle of science, right? But it's just a discovery. You just need to know how it works, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, and there's no better person to do a small presentation on perspective than you.
Yeah, I hope I can get it to work. And I hope that you don't get strikes for the videos that I might use.
No, that's not going to happen.
How so?
Because I'm not going to play them.
You need to play them. You need to see it in action a little. Yeah, because it has motion in it, and you can't see it when there's no motion in it.
I got you. We'll have to evaluate them. When you get them, we'll evaluate and see which direction we're going to go. Yep.
The whole video that I have is like 3 minutes, so
okay.
It won't be.
You have to just pause them and let us talk around them.
Yes, I already suggested that to her.
Purposes, and then we should be fine.
I already suggested that technique to her, but we'll have to get a little bit more specific. But yeah, yep.
Time hacks, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that maybe. So we have some interesting shows coming about next.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Thanks, Betty. Thanks, Adam. I'm gonna shut this down right now. So listen, guys. Thanks for coming. Sorry if you were looking for a spectrochocoloscopy. Don't worry. Don't fret. You'll get it next Tuesday. So what I'd like you to go out there and do is ask ballers. It can be random. How do we know what the sun is? And that's going to get the ball rolling. And it'll get the hot topic up so we can build them up and then chop them right down. So appreciate you guys coming out to watch the show. Appreciate everyone that showed up on the panel. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks. Out.
Gem Pandas, and they were educating me from Andrew Thomas Young's paper. They're saying, yeah, those light rays, they're curving to your eyeball, right?
Yeah, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, they are?
Line of sight is never bent.
You haven't got a straight line of sight on a globe. It's all bent.
Those light rays, they're curving to your eyeball.
Yeah, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Line of sight is never bent.
They're curving to your eyeball.
Yeah, buddy.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Line of sight is never bent.
Cornwall cars. We have
Numpty dipshit.
all cars, please assist. All cars, please assist.
So why don't you walk me through this?
What you want me to do this? Huh? What you get me do this? Prove a flat earth? Huh? What you get me do this? Huh?
Done.
What you get me do this? Proving a flat earth? Huh? Huh? What you get me do this? Proving a flat earth? Huh?
That is how you sound, Virus. That is.
What you get me do this? Proving a flat earth?
Damn, walk me through this.
Damn, bro! You got me proving a flat earth, bro! Why'd you get me do this, bro?
Dude.